actions have changed the world.
Hello, and welcome back to the world of assassination and the subscriber contracts. And today's contract, Hangry 47, set in Dartmoor. And the contract ID is on the screen now for anyone who wishes to have a crack at it, and has been supplied to us today, courtesy of Paul Anderson 37. So moving on to our briefing, 47's hunger is making him angry and needs to let off some steam. So moving on to our targets, and today we have 5 of them. All must be eliminated whilst disguised as the mansion staff. One via drowning accident, one via electrocution accident, one via consumed poison, one via thrown shuriken, and one via explosion accident. And we also have only one exit available to us. We cannot change disguise. We must only eliminate our targets. Nobody's can be found excluding accidents and poisons. We cannot be recorded. And we cannot classify anyone as our objectives. So for today's challenge, we'll be starting as the mansion staff, and we're going to have the Seeker 1 stored up in the library, and we'll be bringing with us a remote micro taser, and some shurikens, along with our silenced pistol. So right from the start and off the bat, we are going to retrieve our Seeker 1, and then we're going to make our way straight around to the entrance hall balcony and up the drain pipe to Alexa Carlisle's balcony. And if we time this just right, we won't have to wait around for ages for the conversation between the 2 housekeepers inside. Luckily enough, no, we don't. They have their backs to us, so we can make our way straight in through the window and into the bathroom. We're going to drop our taser on the floor by the sink and then overflow the sink. No one will be distracted by this, surprisingly enough. So we're going to select our Seeker 1 and holster it ready and waiting. And we now need to wait for the young lady in the room next to us to be drinking her drink, which she is doing. We've hesitated a little while we waited for Alexa to make her way into her private sanctum. And once we made our way through that little gauntlet into the office area, we're going to just position ourselves behind the guard at the foot of the stairs, pull out our Seeker 1, shoot him in the back, and then before we leave, we're just going to wait for that troublesome maid to have her back to us once again, and then we can make our way into the changing rooms, and all we have to do now is await the arrival of our target. He's going to go to the loo and be sick, and when he's finished, he will then finally be the first one to be distracted by the overflowing sink, and once he is in that puddle, we are going to give him the shock of a lifetime, and we have our first target finally dealt with. So it took a bit of figuring out to get him in here in the long run, but we got there in the end, and target 1 is done. And if we have our timing just right as we do, we can pass straight back past the housekeeping staff member in the bedroom, over the banister, down the drain pipe, and back down onto the lower level. And from here, we're going to make our way back into the library, and just beyond the library, we will locate our next target, who is currently chatting up one of the maids. We can't be having that, she's supposed to be working. She's on minimum wage. She cannot stop working, not even for a second. So that once we are in proximity, we will break up the conversation, and when the guard makes his way out onto the balcony, we're going to quickly shoot him in the back with the Seeker 1, and then we're going to follow him when he decides to join us into the bathroom, and we can then close the door behind him and reintroduce him to his breakfast, and that will be 2 targets now taken care of. So from here on out, we've got a little bit of running around to do, but we're going to set up a couple of kills along the way. So we're going to make our way back to the library and down the stairs. We need to avoid Mr. Fernsby, the butler. I have no idea where he currently is, and it turns out he's directly ahead of us. So as long as we manage to avoid him, we're all good. We're heading for the kitchens, and we need to get around Mr. Fernsby. So we'll just take the longer route, and we're going to duck in through the kitchen and then straight out through the kitchen window, around the green van, and we're going to collect up the crowbar. That's going to come in handy shortly. We're going to duck back in through the kitchen window, and on our way out, we're going to collect up one of the propane cylinders, and then we're going to make our way to Mr. Fernsby's office using the crowbar we've collected, and we can then grab the lethal poison that is located on the windowsill. It's just here, it's right in the corner, there it is. And once we have that, we can now start setting up our final eliminations. So step 1, we need to take care of Rebecca Carlisle next, and she will be in the trophy room, or the zoo room. It's the room full of stuffed animals. We're just going to give that enforcer there, who is going to be a problem, a little bit of a wide berth. He is literally on the exact same route that we are for the entire rest of our targets. So we will be waiting him out for a little while. But once he is safely through the zoo room, or the trophy room, we're going to approach the table, add our lethal poison to the glass of water or bottle of water, and for the purposes of the video, of course, and to give that enforcer housekeeping staff member a chance to get ahead of us, we are sticking around for the elimination. Now Rebecca has just left this room. She's going to go into the living room next door and have a quick conversation before returning. She may stop and have a phone call on the way as well, but eventually she will approach the table and she will pick up the now poisoned water. So 2 more targets to go. They are both located over at the church, and that is also the exact location of the housekeeping staff member who is actually right where we want to be. See him just up ahead of us now. So our final 2 targets are these 2 gardens right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop our propane cylinder somewhere near the ride-on lawnmower, make our way into the bushes, and we're just going to wait for the housekeeping staff member enforcer to vacate the area. There he goes now, and be careful because he does come right this way. He doesn't have to go through the doorway. So once he is safely past, we are going to make our way into the church, and we are going to turn on the radio, and that is going to distract the Shuriken kill target away from the explosion. We're going to make our way back into the bushes, pull out our silent pistol, and when the other target is safe and clear, we can put 2 bullets as quickly as we can into the propane cylinder. Boom, there we go. So that's obviously going to cause a little bit of panic, so we're just going to put away our silenced pistol. We're going to make our way to the corner of the bushes here, and we're just going to let everybody finish panicking back to their usual routines. We can then pull out our shurikens and holster them ready. We can then position ourselves nicely behind our final target, and once we are safely in position, we can then eliminate him with a shuriken to the back of the head. And we are going to hide his body, as I am not entirely sure whether the housekeeping staff member returns to this area or not. So once we have all of that done, we can make good our escape, and the nearest and only available exit to us is the hearse exit. So we're going to quickly run up and grab the keys there, and then tell this guard to stop leaning on our car, and we can then exit the moors of Dartmoor. So there we go, one more subscriber contract taken care of. Quite an enjoyable one this, I have to say. And we get confirmation all of our targets have been eliminated according to plan. We met all of our objectives, and that will gain us our Silent Assassin rating. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.